Over the course of the last 2 or 3 years or so, both the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets have created two of the biggest super teams that really we've ever seen in NBA history. We look at the Lakers, obviously signing LeBron a few years ago, going out and going all in, making the Anthony Davis trade, winning the 2020 championship, getting unlucky last season with some injuries and getting eliminated in the first round, but then this year having an incredible offseason and basically creating this super team. And then with the Brooklyn Nets, we know that they signed Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving a couple off seasons ago, and then last year going all in, making that James Harden trade and surrounding their team with a great supporting cast and pretty much putting together one of, if not the best offensive team we've ever seen. And last year, obviously both of these teams got into injury trouble and weren't able to make the NBA Finals, but this season, if both of these teams can stay relatively healthy, we could see this matchup in the finals. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why this matchup right here would be so fun to watch and might be the best NBA Finals that we've ever seen for multiple reasons. So let's get straight into it. Let's start off by talking about the Lakers and just how big of a super team this is right here. We've already seen just how dominant LeBron and AD can be together as a duo, still probably when they're fully healthy and at their best, the best duo in the NBA right now. They both are great defensively. AD probably the best defender in the NBA still when he's fully healthy, and offensively, both of these guys with LeBron's playmaking ability, AD scoring down low and in the post, and overall, how they fit together as a duo and how they're surrounded by their team is just absolutely insane. And offensively, this team is going to be absolutely insane this year. They went out and made that Russell Westbrook trade as well, adding kind of a third star to the team. And originally when they made this trade, I was very skeptical of it. We know that if you watch the NBA playoffs last year, you saw the Lakers get eliminated by the Phoenix Suns, and their number one need for their team was shooting to space the floor for guys like LeBron and AD. And they went out and get one of the worst shooters in the league in Westbrooks and gave up one of their best shooters in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But then the Lakers proved me wrong and showed that they've actually improved their spacing a ton this offseason, going out and getting Carmelo Anthony, Kendrick Nunn, Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore, Wayne Ellington, and Malik Monk. All 6 of these guys are above average three-point shooters statistically, so this team's spacing is going to be great as well. I have up on the screen right now what all of these guys' three-point percentages were last season and how many three-point attempts they took per game. So as you can see from these numbers, all of the guys that they signed to surround this team are very good three-point shooters, so this team has it all offensively. They've got the star power of LeBron and AD along with Westbrook. They're going to be the best transition team in the league by far this season, with the passing court vision abilities of Westbrook and LeBron, along with lob threats on the team like obviously both LeBron and Westbrook, an amazing offensive player as well in AD, and surrounded with some very good shooting as well. Offensively, this team could easily be a top 3 team in the league. Defensively, they did give up a little bit of their defensive identity to make this team. It's not as good as it was with their 2020 championship team, but this team still has a very good defensive identity led by the system of Frank Vogel, the amazing versatile defense of the best defender in the league in my opinion in Anthony Davis, and I definitely still expect them to be a top 10 defensive team next season. This team is better than the 2020 team was, and that statement alone is just simply scary. Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets now, and offensively for this team, like I said in the start of the video, this legitimately might be the best offensive team that we have ever seen in NBA history. I mean, the big three of KD, Harden, and Kyrie, 3 of the top 10 best offensive players in the NBA, and they work together well as a team too. Originally when they made this trade to go out and get Harden and have these 3 ball-dominant players playing together, I doubted them right away because I didn't think they would be able to fit together, but watching them play a lot last season, all 3 of these guys are willing to sacrifice for each other, give up the ball, play effectively off ball, cut if they need to, screen if they need to, pass if they need to, do anything that they need to do to have their offense flow right. And these are 3 of, like I said, easily the top 10 best offensive players in the league. Kevin Durant is still easily the best scorer in the NBA last year, putting up 27 points per game in the regular season on an insane 66.6 true shooting, which is way above league average, which is insane for his scoring. Like I said, easily still the best scorer in the game right now and probably top 3 all-time, in the playoffs putting up 34 points per game on 63% shooting. Absolutely insane. Harden doing what he does best, but again, last year taking a step back, only averaging 25 points per game, but still being one of the best playmakers in the league. He really sacrificed his role, played a different role in this Brooklyn Nets team, and took on the role of being a playmaker, ranking top 2 in the league in assists per game, second in the league in passer rating, and third in the league in box creation, which is how many open shots you create for your teammates each game. And Kyrie having a career season as well, still being the best ball handler in the league, averaging this year 27 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting, only the 5th player in NBA history to average over 25 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting. Amazing efficiency from Kyrie, and not to mention too that both Kyrie and KD are arguably top 10 playmakers in the NBA too. Offensively, this is probably the best big three we've ever seen, and this team is surrounded with shooters as well, just like the Lakers are, and their shooters are probably even better. A guy like Joe Harris, who despite his disappointing playoff run last year, is still arguably the best catch and shoot 3-point shooter in the NBA last year, shooting 47.5% from 3. Also a guy like Jeff Green, a guy like Landry Shamet, Blake Griffin, who can shoot the 3 pretty effectively now, and they cite a great 3-point shooter as well in Patty Mills. And also, again, I'm going to put up on the screen now what these shooters are doing last season with their 3-point percentage and how many 3-point attempts they had per game. And this spacing for this Nets team already combined with their big 3 is just absolutely insane. They're going to continue to get better this year as a team too, as they have more time to play together. Offensively, there's no secret how good this team is. They're easily the best offensive team in the league today, and arguably the best offensive team we've ever seen in the NBA. Defensively, I still do have doubts for this team, and if you guys did watch my channel this year, you know that consistently throughout the season this year, I doubted the Brooklyn Nets because of how bad their defense was at times, but I've decided to stop doing this and start buying in on the Nets and realize just how good they are, because I know offensively they're the best team in the league by far, and defensively last year, like I did mention, they were an under-average team, had the 22nd best defensive rating in the NBA last year, but in the playoffs, you could tell that especially their big 3 players really started to buy in more defensively, work more on that end of the floor, and in the playoffs last year, they had the 4th best defensive rating in the entire league out of all the teams that made the NBA playoffs. Not to mention too that they now have this really good young underrated player in Nicholas Claxton, who I think should and will earn lots more minutes this season, and is honestly has the potential to be one of the best defenders in the NBA. He's versatile, he can switch on the perimeter, and can be one of the best defensive centers in the NBA, so he's really going to help them out a lot too. Other than that, they don't have a lot of great defensive personnel. Blake Griffin proved last year he can be a good on-ball defender as well, but I do expect this team to be an at least average defensive team this season, and this is going to help them get over that hump and make the finals as well. So just how good these teams are alone could make for one of, if not the best NBA finals that we've ever seen. I mean, both of these teams should definitely be classified as super teams. I know we all have different definitions for super teams, and personally, I don't call a lot of teams super teams at all, but I think both of these teams are good enough to be called that. Both of these teams are simply insane. Offensively, 2 of the best teams we've ever seen. Defensively, neither are great, but still probably above average. Both of these teams, in my opinion, especially once they start turning it up in the playoffs, will probably be over average defensively. Amazing star power and depth on both of these teams. And just talking about basketball alone, this could definitely be the best NBA finals that we've ever seen. But now I want to talk about some of the juicy narratives that we've got going into this matchup if this NBA finals happens. Where do I start? There's just so many. Let's start with some of the ringless legends here. I mean, a few weeks back I made a video ranking my top 10 players of all time who had never won an NBA championship. James Harden was in the top 5 of that list. He now has a chance to win his first ring ever, and both Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, who obviously are now on the Los Angeles Lakers, were in the honorable mentions of that video, meaning they are, in my opinion, also top 15 players of all time to never win a ring. So one of these players, if not 2 of them, and Russ and Carmelo, are going to be getting their first NBA championship pretty late in their career, which would obviously be awesome. And then we've got some matchups here, not exactly one-on-one matchups that are going to be happening in the game, but keep in mind here that we've got Russell Westbrook versus Kevin Durant. Yeah, we all remember this beef between these two, the story between them. If for somehow you don't know this story between Russ and KD, they played on the Thunder together, they were an awesome duo. KD leaves to go to the Warriors to join the super team, and obviously Russ doesn't like that, and in the games that they faced each other, it was complete madness. So obviously we've got this one now, and I know these two are pretty much friends again now, and the beef is over, but in the heat of an NBA Finals, we could definitely see some interesting stuff between these two, and not to mention too that we've got LeBron versus Kyrie. We know how the match between these two ended, with Kyrie requesting a trade after this team won the championship in 2016 and betraying LeBron and the Cavs, and now they're going to be going head to head in the NBA Finals as well. Another one here, not only is Russell Westbrook facing his former teammate in KD, but he's now going to be going against James Harden, who not only was he also a teammate with him on the OKC Thunder, but they have been teammates twice together on not only the OKC Thunder back in the early 2000s, but also with the Rockets a couple of years ago. Both of these times that their duo wasn't able to work out and they weren't able to win an NBA championship together. Now they're going head to head with each other as well. Not to mention too that, oh yeah, we have arguably the two best players of our entire generation going head to head in an NBA Finals again, in LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And I know we've seen them play against each other in the NBA Finals before, but it's going to happen again, and it's going to be awesome. Matchups wise, it's going to be incredibly entertaining to see the best scorer in the NBA right now in KD probably go up against the best defender in the NBA right now in Anthony Davis. We're going to see two of the best offensive players, arguably two top 5 offensive players ever in LeBron James and James Harden, go up against each other in a matchup most likely. And oh yeah, just on the side here, Kyrie versus Russell Westbrook, two guys that arguably could end their careers as top 10 point guards of all time, going head to head as well. Not to mention, like I said, both these teams have incredible shooting. The shooting battle is going to be going head to head, and overall the narratives of this NBA Finals, combined with some of the matchups that we're going to see on the court, combined with just the overall star power and depth of both of these super teams, and how in this series both of these teams' stadiums are going to be absolutely packed, considering that COVID has been contained by that point to the point where we can have packed stadiums once again like we did this season in both of these teams' stadiums. This is going to be the best NBA Finals we've ever seen. I'm going to go out and make the prediction now. At the start of the season, before the 2021-2022 season has started, that this NBA Finals will happen. This obviously isn't that bold of a prediction. Both teams pretty much just have to stay healthy, and I think this Finals definitely could happen. If it does, I absolutely cannot wait for it. It's going to be insane. So there you have it. That is the end of today's video. I hope that in the 9.5 months when the NBA Finals is, that we can see this matchup between these two super teams. I really hope they can stay fully healthy and this Finals will end up happening. And like I explained in today's video, with everything I talked about today, this could be the best NBA Finals that we have ever seen. Let's hope that it happens. Make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts on today's video, and if you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm still on that road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you're new, hit that subscribe button. I'll still be posting lots of NBA content in the off season and definitely while the season starts, so make sure you subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next video.